background and literature, and I'll also talk about needs and notes for structural health monitoring, and also we'll go through the techniques and methodologies that are adopted for SHMs, and lastly we'll go through the importance of structural health monitoring and challenges in structural health monitoring. So firstly, structural health monitoring is a process of using systematic technologies and methods to assess the structure's condition and to detect damages in a structure. This will help us to detect how the critical condition will occur in a structure and how it will get deteriorated over the time. So basically, first in the mid 1960s to late 1970s, there were studies going on in structural health monitoring using basic equipments like strain gauges and other basic sensors. This was the period when the structural health monitoring was a new concept. After that, in the decade of 1980s to 90s, more advancements were made in structural health monitoring due to the new methods of testing, that is non-destructive testing. Many of the techniques were developed for structural health monitoring, and in the decades of 2000 and 2010s, when the computer was on its verge, computers were integrated with structural health monitoring, and it was used with artificial intelligence and machine learning to create pathways for new methods for structural health monitoring. And in the latest 2020s, the studies have found that we can use unmanned aerial vehicles to autonomously monitor the structures. So this was the basic literature and background of structural health monitoring. And what is the need for structural health monitoring? Basically, there are three things that we need to ensure when we are monitoring a structure. One is the safety of its occupants, and the second thing is cost effectiveness, and the third thing is how we can improve the design and optimize the design of a structure. So these are some of the factors that will affect or that are needed to be assessed in structural health monitoring. So one of the important factors here that I would like to point out is improves maintenance by providing insight into structural health. So this is important factor, as we have seen that sometimes the maintenance cost is very high if we go for without accessing or without assessing the data previously available. So these are some of the needs that are going to be met in structural health monitoring. So basically, there are 4 steps in structural health monitoring. The first step would be determining the damage of existing structure or determining the location of the damage, and after that we will go for the geometric position of the damage, because it is one of the most crucial things that a structural health monitoring system should identify. And the third step would be quantification of damage severity. This will help us to implement the system or to implement the specific system that is required for any structural health monitoring. And lastly, the prediction of remaining life of structure. Nowadays, this fourth step is one of the most important steps in structural health monitoring, because now we are trying to aim to predict the trend of the structural behavior, or to predict how the structure will behave under certain conditions. So coming to the damages, there are many types of damages that can occur in a structure. We are not talking about the service load damages here. We are only talking about the special damages or uncertain damages. Here, fatigue cracking. This is caused due to repetitive loads on structures. The structures that are most affected by these type of loads are bridges and heavy structures. So also the structural health monitoring is done for structures that are more in public use, not in commercial use. So public structures are more reliable or more susceptible to damage than the commercial structures. So the other type of damages would be corrosion, which is one of the most important thing nowadays, because corrosion is a thing that is a need of the hour, and it is also one of the damages that are being caused to the structures more commonly. And the third thing would be impact damages. These are the damages caused due to sudden loads or sudden movements of loads on any structure. And the other things are environmental degradation and aging and deterioration. And the pattern